Hi everybody, welcome back. It's your girl LaTanya K. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I hope you're sticking to those New Year resolutions. As we get ready to wrap up January, I'm sticking to mine, so hopefully you're sticking to yours. But today, I'm coming to you with a request of some friends I was with over the weekend asking about foundation. And I think for all of us, women or whomever, we've all struggled with foundation, trying to find the right shade, the right amount of coverage, how to apply it, how does it look. So, and I get it, we've all been there, and the struggle is real when it comes to foundation. And foundation is the basis of makeup. If your foundation is laid, the rest of your makeup is going to look absolutely beautiful. So today I'm just going to tell you some of my favorite foundations, how to apply foundation, and even how to go about picking the right shade for you based on your skin color, your undertones, and some of the brands that offer a vast selection of shades to choose from, unlike the Tarte Shape foundation that came out last week and only have 15 shades to choose from, which is really crazy that we're even still dealing with this in 2018, 15 shades. But anyway, there's plenty of other brands out there to choose from that have a vast selection of shades to choose from. And because you want to choose a foundation for your skin tone, so you're not walking around looking like Ashy Larry. So, and those friends that don't tell you that you look like Ashy Larry with that crazy foundation, no, those are not your friends. So, but anyway, let's just get right into it. So as far as foundation, there are so many great foundations to choose from. And when choosing a foundation, it's great to have several to choose from, if I must say so myself. It definitely helps to have, a selection, to choose from for all women. And especially women of color, because we definitely come in so many beautiful shades and tones, and having those options is such a great thing, for us. And we want to be included in that conversation as well too. And so I know that when I go to look for a foundation, depending on the brand, we'll just say I've been using MAC Studio Fix for a number of years now. And I was introduced to them by walking into a MAC store and going for it, at that time, struggling with foundation, trying to find the right shade, the right amount of coverage. And after, speaking with the MAC consultant who was at the store, he helped me find the right foundation that I love and I still use today. Now, don't get me wrong, I've tried plenty of other foundations, not just by MAC, but by other companies, and some I absolutely love. And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you today. So first of all, when you're picking out a foundation, I think, you just kind of test them out, yourself. Don't test them on the back of your hand. And that's something I think that, we've all had to learn the hard way to do. And one way I learned over the years to test my foundation is to, test it on my chest. So I'm going to take a little bit of this foundation. Let's get that hair out the way there. And you just kind of, swatch it on your chest. And if it blends well, into your chest, then that is likely the foundation that you want to go with, because it should all blend in well. When you're putting or applying your foundation, you want to, take it down to your neck and just kind of, blend it in, as much as you can. You try a couple different shades, and then, whatever works best for you, from what you could see, try it on your neck too. This blends well, for me. So you kind of want to go, with that option. Use your neck, because it's all connected here, obviously, your face all the way down, and it's the closest to your skin tone that is actually on your face. The back of our hand, as we know, is actually pretty dark, obviously, because it gets the most sun. But your neck, it tends to be, a little paler and around the same, the same, skin color, as your face. So I tend to be a warm or honey. I have cool red undertones. And again, I found that out after years and years of trying, you know, different foundations. And so that's where I am right now. So I tend to stick with the foundations that work best for my skin tone, for me. My favorite foundation is the MAC Studio Fix NC45. I've been using it for years. I have oily skin and I just love it. And it has SPF in it. So you can't go wrong if you find a foundation that matches you, that provides the coverage that you need. And I'm actually wearing Studio Fix today, and it's held up actually pretty good today. And I just love it. I love the coverage of it. I just love Studio Fix. And I use the, you know, the Studio Fix powder and all of that, because you want to just look real even. You know, you don't want to look like Ashy Larry. That's what you don't want to do. And that's the last thing you want to do, is look like Ashy Larry. To all my Dave Chappelle fans, you know what I'm talking about. So, and as it relates to applying foundation, you know, I can never stress enough, you know, with makeup, your tools and brushes are an investment. Just like makeup. Makeup is not cheap. You know, it's reasonably priced and it can be affordable, but, you know, your brushes, you should definitely invest in a couple of decent brushes. And I have 5 of my favorite brushes, and trust me when I tell you I use all of them. I use all of them, and I clean my brushes regularly, meaning I clean them every 2 weeks. So whenever I get my hair did, that's when I clean my brushes. So a couple of favorite brushes I like are the MAC 170 brush. Love this brush. It is it's an angled brush, and I just love this brush. Another brush I have is by MAC too. It's the flat 190 brush. I don't use this as much, you know, as I used to, but every now and then it's kind of my go-to brush. My other favorite brush right now is the Sigma, the flat Kabuki F80 brush. Really like this brush because it's a flat head brush, and it picks up product very well. And I usually go with a sheer coverage amount of foundation, because, you know, I don't have problematic skin or anything of that nature. So I really love this brush, or the MAC 170 brush. And another brush that I bought that's dense too is the Huda Face Buff and Blend brush. I love this brush too. It's a great brush. I can't speak tonight, it's the wine. And then another brush that I like is another flat brush, but it's kind of you know, kind of chunky there, and it's a Sephora brush, and it's a Pro Foundation brush number 47. I really like this brush. And so when I use this brush, because it's a flat head, but you see it's got the bristles laid in together, you know, when I apply it, I pat it on my skin. I've never used a beauty blender to apply my foundation. That's just something I don't particularly do, and you're welcome to do it. Me, I like for my foundation to be applied with a brush. And as you see, I have 5 brushes to choose from. Now, the best part, some of my absolute favorite foundations. I already spoke of the MAC NC42. Oh no, I'm NC45 Studio Fix. It's my favorite foundation. I've been using it for years. I love it. Another favorite of mine is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter or Soft, oh God, I can't talk tonight, but it's the Fenty Beauty foundation, and it's the Pro Filter foundation, and I'm 370. I love this particularly because my skin is oily. And when I use the primer that comes with this, it lays, and my face is nowhere near as oily as it is by the end of the day. Because usually by the end of the day, my face is it seems to break through no matter what. I mean, it's oily where you can just fry chicken on my face. So it's just all bad. Another favorite of mine is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. Love this one. And this one, I'm actually 460 in this one. This is a great full coverage foundation. And I apply a very thin layer of foundation on my face. I take the foundation, all foundations. And what I do, I put it on, that is the one thing I put on the back of my hand, and I just kind of, you know, dot it on my face like such, right? I just kind of do it all over, and then I just take my brush and mix my foundation in that way. Yeah, there's a couple little pimples visiting me right now because Mother Nature's in town, and so I kind of go, you know, that route with the foundation and how I apply it. Another favorite of mine is the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. Again, this has SPF in it too, and this just came out, and I got a sample of this a while ago, and I love it. You know, again, I have oily skin. This has held up actually pretty good with my oily skin, so this is definitely, you know, a favorite of mine. I have so many favorites, and then Hourglass is another one that I like. I use this one. I like this stick foundation. Now for me, again, because I have oily skin, stick foundations or cream foundations tend to hold up well on my skin, and this is definitely one of my favorite foundations as well too. And there's just so many to choose from. And I also, just some honorable mentions, the Huda Beauty, I'm cinnamon in this. I also use the Bobbi Brown stick foundation in warm almond, you know, as well too. And then of course the Giorgio Armani foundation. This is another one that I like too, and I'm 8.5 in this one. So those are, you know, really kind of some of the foundations that I'm using right now or regularly. I know it's a lot, but I switch them up all the time because I need options. A girl's got to have options. And I think when you have options, you know, I've narrowed it down to this over the years, and this is what I like, and this is what I stick to. And those that, you know, I don't like, I usually just, you know, take them back. Now, as far as the shade range to choose from, I'm going to tell you a list of brands that I know have at least 30 plus shades to choose from. These are brands that are inclusive. They're including everyone in the conversation, every skin tone, every undertone, and they're trying to say, hey, we hear you, we know what you want, and here you have it. So some of the brands that offer an extensive shade range, and these are all brands that I've tried, you know, that I like over the years too. So obviously MAC, they were definitely one of the first brands to have such an extensive, you know, shade range. Fenty Beauty, who really just blew it out of the park, you know, last year when Riri came out with Fenty Beauty, and she came out of the gate with 30 shades. I mean, that's just unheard of. Smashbox, Makeup Forever, Bobbi Brown, NARS, Kat Von D, Bare Minerals, Cover FX, Lancome. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. But these are some of the ones that I've tried, you know, I like, and I use for, you know, one different, you know, occasion or another. So hopefully, you know, this has been helpful, and you learn something from this, you know, how to look for foundation, you know, how to, you know, match foundation, you know, match it, you know, on your neck here, you know, as I said, you know, your chest area here, because this is really about the closest, you know, to your face, and this kind of all runs together. You know, how to apply foundation, you know, with the proper tools is very important. So, you know, with that, you know, you will be laid. Your foundation, your makeup, and your face will look fine, because trust me, when your foundation looks good, the rest of you looks really good too. So hopefully this helps. Please like, comment, share. I'm open for suggestions. I love you all, and LaTanya K is out. Make it a good one.